Hello everyone, I am Ajira from Team Espousal and I want to welcome you all to day 2 of Espousal International 2022. We had an action-packed day yesterday with some amazing speaker sessions and panel discussions, and today's agenda is also filled with some very interesting sessions and discussions. Day 2 of Espousal International was kick-started by the one and only Arun Bablani from Viva Weddings. And now we will be moving on with our first panel discussion of the day on tourism, wedding, and hospitality, the winning trio. For this panel, we have with us Tuan Kitchlan from Sri Lanka. He is the manager at Hayley's Aviation. We have Emre Kirazci from Sofitel, Bahrain. We also have Tanaz Basrur from India, from Trinity Entertainment and Strategic Consultants. We have Daniela Corti from Italy. She is the founder of Daniela Corti Events. And finally, we have Krishna Mariyanka from India, from Ajira Global. Krishna will also be moderating the session. Gemino from Sri Lanka unfortunately could not be here with us today due to power and internet issues. So, all the best to this panel, and over to you, Krishna. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi,
Hi,
Anya.
Hi,
I hope
how are
I'm
you?
audible.
Yes, you are. How are you all doing today? Am I audible?
You are very edible. Very good afternoon to everyone and to all audience.
Okay, great. Okay, Krishna is here. So, over to you, Krishna. Please take it forward.
Can't hear Krishna.
All right. Yeah. Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
We all look different in the photographs, isn't it? Anyway, are we expecting one more? Or that's it?
No, I don't think Yamuno will join us. We have a situation in Sri Lanka where the power comes and goes. We have a lot of power disruptions happening in Sri Lanka.
Okay. What about Danielle? Daniela Corti. Okay.
Daniela is in the backstage, I thought. That's what I read from the.
Okay. We should ask her to join. Let me just give me a minute. Let me see this.
Krishna, I love the color of your shirt.
Oh, thank you. I think you're similar somewhere there. Thank you. Emre, so tell me a little bit about yourself. I think, yeah, so I'm just waiting for Daniela. I sent a message to her on the group. I hope she can join and we can start off. Or is she here already? No. Okay. Emre, yeah, I hope she can join so we can start off. Okay. Arvind says we can start as she comes in. Okay. So let's do this. And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for the next session of Espousal International, the online version of it. One of the most premier wedding platforms that are happening. It's a property that being built across by Arvind Sabani, and I want to jump straight away into questions. But before I do that, Emre, you want to tell me a little bit about what you do, just in one, two lines, what you do and where you're from.
Krishna, firstly, delighted to meet you as well as Mr. Tanaz and Mr. Tuan virtually. And I would like to recognize the hard work and dedication that the Espousal team put together to bring us all together for this panel session. I am originally Turkish. I have lived in Middle East region since 2006. 11 years in United Arab Emirates, specifically in Dubai, for the last 5 years in Kingdom of Bahrain. I'm an hotelier with extensive background on the commercial side. I have worked for Kempinski, Fairmont, Raffles Swiss Hotel, and presently I work for Sofitel, which is a part of Accor Group. in addition to Fairmont Raffles and Swiss Hotel, which is presently a part of Accor Group. I believe my value add to this value proposition is from a supplier perspective. We since 2017 we have done a large number of Indian weddings, probably more than a number of landmark properties in the Middle East region. We do between 18 to 20 Indian weddings in Sofitel, Bahrain, with the support of Bahrain Tourism Authority, Gulf Air, and Bahrain Duty Free. We offer a value proposition to our families and planners with one-stop shop, offering them extensive support in regards to visa arrangements, in regards to negotiations with the airlines, in regards to decors, in regards to bringing liquor, etc. And here I am to share some feedback in regards to a supplier perspective and how we deal with those esteemed Indian families and, most importantly, the planners, obviously.
Superb. We will get more questions for you, Emre. Just hang on. Tuan, you want to just introduce yourself briefly and tell what you do, where you're from?
Hi, Krishna. It's a pleasure to get to know you, and it is indeed a pleasure to be among this panel. I was going through their profiles as well. So I'm honored, extremely honored to be here. I come from an aviation background, Krishna. Hi to the audience as well. So I've started my aviation career back in 2001. So ever since then, been in the aviation industry, in and out. Started from reservations ticketing, that is the first customer touch point of airline passenger journey. And I've gone through the airport operations, administration, and now I'm back in the management, mainly focusing on the commercials. Like Emre said, our role is again a supplier perspective in terms of weddings, tourism, and destinations are concerned. So my role is any airline that we get. I've gone through a lot of airlines, Krishna. That is started from Singapore Airlines, China Southern Airlines, Maldivian, Bhutan Airlines, Ukrainian Airlines, now with British Airways, Vietnam Airlines, Cebu Pacific. So I've covered a lot of worldwide range in terms of destination. So the commercial perspective is for me to promote a destination and then to attract the destination wedding or the customer segment that travels for destination wedding. So that is where I come in. I hope I can share some expertise among this panel as well.
Sure, thanks, Tuan. We'll come back to you. I want to understand a few things, how you do it. Now, before we do that, Tanaz, you want to just introduce yourself and tell us what you do and where you're from.
Hi, everybody. Espousal, Arvind, Sabhane, Krishna, thank you for having me. Very happy to be here. I am an event manager and a wedding planner since the last 40 plus years. Been in the industry for 40 plus years. Started with event management, and then, of course, wedding planning is always booming. That is one industry that never dies, never sleeps. So I hopped onto that, and currently I work in 3-4 different ways, in the sense I'm an individual professional, and I liaison with various companies when they have back-to-back weddings, and they can sublet one to me, and I take care of the full project as a complete project. And I do my own. I teach event management in many institutes. I also have written my book, the one and only one in event management in India, The Art of Successful Event Management, which most of my students use, most of the institutes use. And right now, currently just doing weddings after the pandemic. It's only been
Where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm from India. I'm from India.
Where are you based?
Bombay.
Mumbai. Okay. Now, thanks Tanaz, Tuan, and Emre, all of you. Thank you very much for that opening introduction yourself. Of course. So here's my first question. No, weddings are great, and it's a never die industry. You always have business, and that's what Tanas said just now. That it never sleeps, that particular industry. So my question is, Emre and Tuan, how do you catch these guys? I mean, how do you get to know that these people are coming, the weddings are happening? There's a lot of competition for you guys as well, right? How do you really? I mean, I was interested to understand from Tuan to begin with. How do you really do it? I mean, how do you? You were telling me that you wait for these wedding season to appear, and that's when you catch up. Can you just throw me a little more light, and how do you do it really?
Right, Krishna, to start with, I will share the Sri Lankan tradition. Sri Lanka, we have a season for weddings. We call it the auspicious timings. So the families get together, check for the auspicious timings, and then there is a whole duration that we have identified, picking individual events, but then we notice good auspicious timings come during a particular month of May in Sri Lanka, and there are a few identified months in our country. Then, when you have these auspicious timings, obviously you need to be prepared to attract the consumer segment who is out there. So you need to understand it's part of this entire MICE tourism consumer load. You need to identify which events are going to happen and which are going to trigger. So what we need to do in terms of our marketing is we go on talking about what facilities are required by the consumer segment, and we try to advertise that we already have those facilities. A biggest consumer concern in terms of destination weddings is, number one, whether the entire team can travel together. Number two, whether the entire team will get their bags delivered to their destination. Those are the two critical pain points and consumer segments that we have identified. So we keep on going and communicating that particular sentiment into the consumers.
Just imagine every luggages arrive and the bride and the groom's the luggages don't arrive through your airline. Just imagining that. Uh, just the whole. Tuan, I had a question where I just wanted to ask you. When you have this situation coming in, I can understand the good times in Sri Lanka. What about people coming from overseas for your destination weddings? How do you handle them? How do you really? What kind of complexities do you have there?
So, like I said, Krishna, the main consumer concerns are whether the entire team can go to the destination. That is, even if they are coming to Sri Lanka, Sri Lankans go to India. With the Korea Cruises operation in India from Bombay to Visakhapatnam, from Kerala to Madras, weddings are happening on board the cruise and different destinations as well. Uh, when when the consumers, even if they want to come to Sri Lanka, the main concern is blocking the seats, saying we have X amount of customers who want to go, or X amount of passengers who want to fly from this point to the other point. So let's say Bombay to Colombo, because we have had.
Is that when you make the best of monies?
So I'll
You block.
leave that revenue part, Krishna,
You,
as a trade secret.
okay. Yeah, but you mean I can understand. Come on, I'm going to ask the same question to Emre as well. So when the season arrives, that's when you make a chunk of money and you block everything. Everybody is blocked. The hotel is blocked. The airlines are blocked. How do you have customers really still coming back to you? Do you think destination people who do destination weddings come to you no matter how much is the cost, or what do you think is the how does it work really? Tuan.
Yeah. So, in case, in that case, Krishna, like I said, the two main consumer pain points. As long as you deliver, the cost is just part of another concern.
Interesting.
People are believe me when I say people are ready to pay the premium if these two major pain points are addressed.
Okay, Emre, how do you take that question? Same question, like, is that the best time that you make your money? Charge hotels without there is no rooftop uh, costing. There's no bottom line, nothing. What you tell people do still they still do buy your customers. What do you think?
Krishna, I strongly believe that weddings are way more important than costing. We deal with people's emotions here. It's not a incentive. It's not a corporate incentive. It's not a business trip. It is a social event that is remembered a lifetime taking place. Therefore, costing within the Indian culture is extremely important. And as you are an Indian, so as Tanaz, you will know better than I do as a Turk. It is within your blood and in your tradition to negotiate and get something out of a discussion, obviously. So, some sort of offering a value proposition is very important. I don't want to underline this as costing. I would like to underline this as an added value, a solution provided over a discussion. But for instance, if I may give you an example from Kingdom of Bahrain, here we offer an immense amount of value proposition. Gulf Air as an airline is a very boutique carrier. It offers a very tailor-made solution to the families. The families are able to have in-flight entertainment videos. They can customize the entertainment within the chartered plane. They can put an entertainer such as a violin player or a comedian or a magician within the plane. They can basically customize the seat, wallets, etc. Those are some added values that the airline partner offers. Us, from an hotel perspective, the reason why weddings comes to us is basically, firstly, we go. I mean, I'm giving a secret recipe away here for fellow hoteliers watching this metaverse opportunity with Espousal. But uh, what we do is, I am the director of operation in Sofitel Bahrain. My role is I report to the general manager of the property. I look after the commercial part and the operation at the property. Myself personally, I visit India every 2 months along with my Indian colleagues. We meet the families probably after a week later when they send an inquiry to us. Sometimes they get surprised. They say, hey, we send the same inquiry to 10 other hotels, including Emirates Palace in Abu Dhabi, Versailles, Dubai, World of Astoria, Ras Al Khaimah, to name a few, Shangri-La, Oman, etc., etc. And that there are two hoteliers all the way from Bahrain sitting in their living room. So they got really surprised, and we very passionately explain the value proposition that the Bahrain offers along with the property. Obviously, word of mouth is a great marketing tool. It is always a family referral from a family who did their wedding at the property previously. It helps a lot. We personally collect testimonies from grooms and bride's father. We showcase those testimonies to the families. And then the most important factor, either they are Sindhis, Marwaris, Gujaratis, doesn't matter, is when they come over to Bahrain for a Reiki, the confidence that they gain during their visit to the property. It's not a one-man show. It's not something that either one person can do or a hotel can do. It has to be collective. The solution that the Bahrain offers is at the hotel, we meet them collectively all together, from a pastry chef to the executive chef, myself to the each waiters. They get to meet with every team member. They gain confidence. At the airport, the director of tourism authority for Bahrain, Dr. Ali Fulat, he welcomes the family. During their visit, they meet the CEO of Bahrain Tourism Authority and CEO of Gulf Air. They have discussions with the owners of the vendors themselves. So there is a lot of confidence that's provided to a family. And then, obviously, as Tuan very rightly said, auspicious dates are a great element. We have a lot of demand during auspicious dates. if they hurry up and sign the deal, put the down payment, they get those auspicious dates. And the reason why we have over and over weddings is because, as I mentioned earlier, not because of our eyebrows or the way we execute weddings, is predominantly because of the experience. I want to underline this word here, experience, that the family has. Because when a family checks out, they don't remember the beach, they don't remember the venues, they don't remember that comfortable bed. All they remember is the overall experience that they have in the property. And I am sure yourself, Ms. Tanaz, and Mr. Tuan will agree with me too. And then we use this experience as experience marketing to collect more weddings, basically.
Great. Okay, I come back to you, Emre. I have a questions, of course. Come back to you in some time. Tanaz, you have been doing events, plenty of them, and do you agree that whenever you do weddings overseas or another destination places, do you find it difficult to kind of get the best deals with hotels and airlines, and would that affect your business with your customers? I just want to understand, because I'm clear now that both Tuan and Emre sell it at a price that they love to do it at during the wedding season. I want to understand, what do you experience as an event manager with hotels and the airlines industry? Yes.
So, firstly, today a destination wedding is much more in demand than what was earlier, and there is a certain understanding that the client has कि अगर मैं destination ये मान्यता, actually it is believed that a destination wedding is more cheaper than doing a local wedding. Okay, because there
It's
you
just that
cut
you have
down
to
on,
reduce the number of people. That's it.
yes, you reduce the number of people, and then you have one reception here for the whole world and sundry, but you take those very close and immediate family and friends with you there and have a lovely close knit affair. So people don't crunch for a wedding. They know that they have that kind of a budget for a 2.5 day wedding anywhere across the world. Of
You let
course,
the cat out back both straight away for Sofitel and Tuan.
yeah,
Okay.
but that's the truth. And on the other hand, I want to say that people like Emre and Tuan and everywhere now, all countries seem to come and have meetings and collabs with us, with wedding planners, okay, or with IMA as a body, and then express and showcase their expertise. We meet with them on one. We take all the details from them as to what they will offer best. So we kind of strike a deal with them. Of course, they have to be. What I have seen is some hotels are very stringent, not allowing this and not allowing that, havan nahi and ye wo nahi and fireworks nahi. But now these days, these are the most essentials of a good wedding. People want that firework and that pyro and that thing. Now, if you coal pyros are there, I don't know why people refuse coal pyros. Hot pyros, I understand the sensors pick it up, but coal pyros are, for some reason, they don't. Whereas I've seen when it's a big name and when it is a buyout, then they do allow after much coaxing. So if the agencies and the hoteliers pan across the world, India and world, are adjustable, are accommodative, and give good package deals, I don't see people not going for destination weddings. More and more people are only looking at destination weddings currently.
Thank you. Thank you, Tanas. Thank you so much for that. It's interesting to note that more and more people are looking at quality events, quality weddings, rather than the quantity weddings. So that's the
Especially
reason,
after the pandemic.
after the
Especially after the
pandemic,
pandemic,
especially after the
because
pandemic.
because
And that
Bombay,
means that,
India, they have their own restrictions right now, many are so, and the countries abroad have opened up and are doing well, so people want to go.
yeah, so what that also means is that people are wanting to do kind of a specific group of people to take them to the weddings and do it more quality rather than quantity. Tuan, I'm going to
And,
ask you back these
and
questions. If you can
likewise,
just,
one more thing I forgot to mention about the travel agencies. The travel agencies also need to get more. I don't see much there though, but they need to get more friendly with the, more accommodative, encourage more chartered facilities, because people are looking at, they want to see 250 people flying at that X amount of rate, but they look at a charter. So give good charter facilities within the charter. All that is essential for the travel agent. And again, do this one-on-one and it works.
I'm just imagining a day from a few weeks or few years from now where you can hire an entire jumbo jet to travel 200 people, 250 people, especially only for the chartered ones rather than the, kind of booking the whole travel on a regular
They
flight
do it
basis.
today. It's
They do
happening
it today.
today.
Yes, they do it today. And just imagine charter flights parked only to carry the weddings. You can imagine they fly from one city to another.
You know, the Ambani wedding, the Akash Ambani wedding, I did their charters. 120 charters across 2 days to Udaipur. Even if there were 10 people in one charter in a 80-seater plane,
Right.
they let go. I did 120 charters across 2 days
Great.
for the Ambani wedding in
Great.
Udaipur.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you. We have less than about 15 minutes to go. Tuan, I just want you to tell me a bit about if you were to give me about 3 to 5 specifics about what do you do to promote, your destination, or your destination, or your, the place where you want to do your, kind of weddings. What are those 3 to 5 specific promotions that you might want to do? That the customer would be impressed or interested to take it up.
Krishna, we have identified some of those. Of course, there are certain airlines that we fly to, and then we represent, and then certain destinations that we focus very closely. Like Emre said, what we have done is we have identified certain good destination properties that are in those destinations. Those properties are hot cake or in demand for destination weddings. Just like Tanaz, in Sri Lankan context, we have identified a few key players who are playing a major role in destination wedding. So we are working very closely with them. We are working closely with the destinations. We are working very closely with the event organizer or the event planner. This event planner and this destination, both these parties are very crucial because they have certain demands that needs to be done, and the event organizer or the event planner is the most critical person who will have major requirements, who will identify the name list. These people have to go in first. The artist needs to be familiar with the destination, and then the end destination also needs to know who is coming in first, what they are bringing in, how to accommodate them. If we consider, like, if we think our role is only to put a passenger in a flight and then send him to a particular station, let's say Colombo to Bombay, and then our journey, our responsibility is over. That's where majority of the airlines, majority of their marketing campaigns fail. What we do, like Emre said, the secret recipe is we work very closely with the event organizer and the destination. We work very closely with them. We identify who are coming in. That's where we get our feeder in. And with the identified organizers, we understand their major pain points, and we try to for somehow find solutions, wiggle around as long as they are within the safety standards. We are okay to accommodate
I like I
majority
like
of
the I like the way you say safety standards. Very important, isn't it?
indeed.
I want to switch this question to Emre. Emre, what about safety? What does safety mean to you in these events, wedding events, and what does hotels like Sofitel does for safe events, healthy events, environmentally friendly events, and also secured events? What do you guys do in health, safety, secured, and environment as far as weddings are concerned, wedding events are concerned?
Krishna, it's a very good question. And I am very pleased to state that I live in one of the most safest destinations in the world, Bahrain. I don't know you, but we have had a la carte menu of COVID vaccination, just to give you an example, which is an important pandemic. We had a la carte menu of COVID vaccination since 2020 December. I work in a property where everyone is at least 4 jabs vaccinated since over a year period. Obviously, during pandemic, we realized the importance of health and how important it is to make sure that we safeguard our guests to ensure that their experience is not impacted regardless of a pandemic or whatsoever. There are a large number of procedures and policies that are in place within Accor hotels with the label called All Safe. It is a prevention program that ensures that we basically safeguard our guests in regards to their health. From a security perspective, because of the peacefulness of the country, we don't have anything measured that could ideally impact the event. Bahrain is a very safe and secure destination. It has basically 0% of crime level. If I would, we call it boomerang effect. I could try it with your wallet. If I would put my wallet on the street, it comes back to me. I have tried it twice in a taxi. It returns back. This is GCC countries, so as United Arab Emirates, so as Qatar, so as Doha. Those are all very safe locations. But Kingdom of Bahrain plays a very frontier role. It was also recently in WHO portals by the president of WHO. Country was being praised in regards to the safety procedures, in regards to the COVID protocols that the country had put together. We had no lockdown, for instance, in the whole, maybe one of the few countries which has had no lockdown. During COVID, we have executed 4 Indian weddings. 4. Those Indian weddings were executed we even did a Bharat walk with social distancing measures. Some of the planners were saying, how can an Indian wedding can be executed without dancing, without Bharat? We managed to do all that, but with social distancing measures. Now, also, I think taking accountability as a hotel is very important. Probably that's one prime reason why we do between 18 to 20 weddings in a year or so. As a hotel located outside of India, is because our team are very responsible regardless of their area of expertise, our role. We will do whatever is necessary to ensure the safety, security. Also, overall experience is up to the expectation. The team will not say, no, it's not a part of my job description or not my role. They will be very proactive in ensuring that the overall experience is up to the expectations from a safety and security perspective, but as well as from an overall positive experience perspective. Krishna, I can't hear you. I think you are muted.
The last point that I wanted to ask you, Emre, is what do you do really to make sure that and I know that the demands of the customers are like varying from one to another. What do you do to make sure that you don't do anything environmentally unfriendly at Sofitel? That's my question to you.
Really good question, Krishna. I am honestly pleased that you bring it up. Accor Hotels and Sebastian Bazen, our CEO, has put together a vision, a sustainability vision, Planet 21. Within the last decade, we are, as we speak, we are presently working towards eliminating all the plastic by the Q3 2022. So there are no plastic bottles, no plastic toiletries within the room that are being used from a guest. For the water consumption, we are trying to be as sustainable as we can in regards to water. We are basically filling it from sea. we produce our own water at the property. We have, in regards to local consumption, we only work with local suppliers, and we produce our own vegetables within our property. We have a dedicated area where the engineering and the kitchen team, along with our executive chef, Chef Marco Terranova, along with our Chef Salim, our Indian chef, work hand to hand to make sure that those vegetables, specifically for the veg weddings, for the Jain weddings, for all sort of Indian weddings, are up to the expectation of the families. The Indian families are real foodies. They have a true understanding of gastronomy. They have a very strong palate. They are, I would say, when it comes to food, I think most important part of a
Right.
wedding.
Thank you.
They're
Right.
sharks. So there is, those are some of the measures that we
Thanks.
take.
Emre, I'm going to come back to you. Emre, I'm going to come back to you on this. But Tanaz, okay, just joking on Emre's thing. Tanaz, do you believe when he says that he did a barat in the COVID times without having crowd? Do you believe him? I mean, I don't believe you, Emre, but I take your word. I trust you. But just want to understand, how could you do is it possible, Tanaz? What did you do during COVID time? Were you able to have any weddings during the time?
Of course, I did. I
Yeah.
did. But
Tell me the challenges then. And
we did all the SOPs. We put them in place and we followed to the T. But the client wouldn't. We also went to the extent of making designer masks and keeping them there and having people take them. They will
I
take
remember
them
the
and put them
designer
in the
masks.
pocket. Yeah. One client told me, well, my makeup, I've spent thousands of rupees to do makeup. Now I'll put a mask. Rakh do baju mein. And she put it at the side. So no matter what, how much, and the hotels, I agree completely with Emre. All hotels, they will wear the mask, they will follow because they are strictly governed. All right, if
Superb.
somebody walks in, they are the first one. But we event managers also follow to the T, but clients do not follow. So having got somebody to do a barat at distance is awesome. ताकि मैं तो देखती हूँ बारात में तो जो नाचते हैं नजदीक से और उड़ाते हैं पैसा and next to the dhol wala and beating the dhol, it's impossible. It's difficult. Not impossible, it's difficult. Maybe you would have had a tough time keeping people apart, but you can't do that. In a wedding, you can't do that. You tell them something, they'll tell you, just like the client just told me to my face. She says, I've got my makeup. I'm sorry. I'm not going to wear a mask. And she just dumped it.
Brilliant.
So,
Brilliant, Tanaz. Thank you
all
so
our
much.
SOPs that we did were on paper. We worked so hard to make these SOPs.
No, I can
But
understand. Yeah. I remember the designer masks flying around, and people made money out of that
exactly,
too. I remember that as well. But
exactly.
it was the need of the hour, and people did it well. People did it
It
well.
was. It
Yes.
was. Yeah, very well. But what is the point if it was not put to practice? Barely one or two old people would be having it. The rest, nobody. It didn't look like COVID anywhere.
Tuan, I'm going to come back. Tanaz, I'm going to come back to you as well. Tuan, now, good to see you back in the panel. I just wanted to ask you, weddings, do they really affect the tourism and hospitality industry? What do you think? I mean, how much of percentage is this? What is the big swing, upside or downside? What do you think happens during that time in your experience of having worked in different airlines and with different destination properties? I just want to understand, how much of this is this a swing up or down? The question is, weddings, do they affect hospitality and tourism industry? Yeah. Emre, so here is the last couple of questions. I think we are running out of time in any case. Um, what specific offers does Sofitel have or can make for, particularly for Indian weddings? And if you can list out in 3 to 5 points, that'll be great for the audience. Yeah.
Very good question. I would like to avoid talking about only myself. I think it's important that we talk about the overall country, but not just Sofitel Bahrain. We work hand to hand
Okay.
with the tourism authority. Tourism authority provides a number of added values like free of charge visa for all Indian family, a car for the Bharat walk. I have heard a groom asking for a lion once, a band, a souk experience, something that's very unique that no other country provides. Also, basically, arrival experience where the family is completely welcomed from a separate immigration desk, which is quite unique, I find. You cannot find a similar experience neither in United Arab Emirates nor in Bali nor in Turkey, I would say. So if the family comes with a business flight or with a economy flight or even with a cargo flight, they will all get out of the airport before any other passenger because of the migration recognition that it's given. We at the hotel provide a rate that is inclusive of all meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, high tea, supper. We completely take off the word no out of our literature. You give your hand to Indian family for check. They ask for your arm. We understand that, but we still don't say no. We have the tendency to make sure that, especially to Babaji, to the father of to the grandparents of the family, etc., we recognize everyone throughout the whole events, all rituals, etc. Everyone is completely recognized, and basically, what we offer is our hospitality, is our reputation commercially and operationally. We don't do anything that will jeopardize our reputation. Shiranji, the Tattwood hero from the South India, he wanted to do a wedding once in Sofitel, Bahrain. When we were doing already a wedding, he said, I will pay whatever it is. Please give me the availability. No, it's not about money. We don't execute two weddings at the same time. We do one. So those are the solutions that we provide. We are solution providers. We provide everything a family needs, and we don't say no, basically, Krishna. Krishna,
Tanaz, yes, sorry. Yeah, Tanaz. I mean, what's your expectation? Come on, you're an event manager. You do weddings. I do corporate events. But the pain points are the same. I've been a brand communication and reputation consultant for the last 25 years. I work for some of the best companies, including companies like Shell, Tektronix, and a few other companies. I headed the corporate communications in these companies. But last 14 years, I've been doing corporate events, media and communications, managing the brand and reputation. My question to you, Tanaz, is we all face the same thing as event managers somewhere. What is your expectations from the airlines and the travel and the hotel industry as an event manager? What are these challenges? And I want you to be honest, and I want you to be frank. No need to be sweet for Emre and Tuan. Say it out. This is your time, Tanaz.
No, sure, sure. Like I said, from the travel agents, well, let's do with the travel agent first. We need uh, good packages. We need that extra service, to make my client comfortable. Of course, most of their requirements are somewhere, sometimes over the top, which we fairly understand and nullify, but something that is doable should be given. These days on the flights, they want customization. They want your backrest, headrest customized, and all of that we do. We do customized cutlery, customized napkins, and your trays, etc. We go to all extents, okay, as the client wants. So a good assistance in that, of course. And the first thing, the biggest thing is the package deals. If there are 20 people traveling and if there are 200 people traveling, what is it that you will, what is it that you will give? An agency gets about 9 or 10% commission. How much of that commission are they willing to let go and give to the client is important, right? Some share good 7-8%, some share just 3% of the commission.
Emre, listen to this. I'm going to come back to you.
Yeah.
I am listening.
And And to
Always.
the hotel industry, I think where Emre is concerned and Bahrain is concerned, I'm glad, I'm very happy. I'm going to have some clients push and come to Bahrain because honestly, I have gone to Muscat, okay, but I haven't really gone to Bahrain, okay. But the kind of things that you're doing and you're giving and you're saying that you do, I would love to come and do a Bahrain destination wedding, okay. And so he is fine, he is customizing. Today clients, when they come, they want to buy out the place. So if it is a buyout, then by default they give you all the venues in the hotel, right, every single area that you have, because we as planners want to make it a different experience. All those 3 nights or 4 nights, sometimes now there are 5 nights, we want to make it a different experience every day. So we want to utilize every different venue. Please allow to use those venues to make them look grander by our decor and expertise, technology expertise, and all the facilities that you can give, put
I,
forth.
I agree with Tanaz. Tanaz, I'm just going to break you and let you talk again. I agree with Tanaz one thing. There's one thing about hotel. The most beautiful spot that I want to use it for my event, they'll say that's not available. Sorry, that's not available. And they make it very, very, very beautiful, huh? And then say, and the rest is all available. That one, that one thing is not available. Go on, Tanaz, go on.
Yeah. So then the little amenities in the rooms, okay, from the arrival point of view, how you have your staff, standing there assisting you right behind you should you need anything. The client doesn't have to wait for a second, and we as planners ensure all that. We work closely with the hotel so that we don't have my client waiting even for a second. The key card and his welcome note is ready before he's at the gate. He's welcomed with a tika or whatever, and he goes up. The system of baggage, sending up baggages. Some hotels crib and they say we have only 2 trolleys. A 500 ka buyout hotel, I mean, clientele list. How can 2 trolleys work? Hire more trolleys. you know I mean, put the charge, but give the facility, because anyways you are charging a good amount. But these little things matter. Imagine just 2 trolleys going up, checking in 250 rooms. When will that last person go up? So most of the times the issues we have are people are all seated, and then the early check-in. Now if you know, what hotels also do are to make their calendar run every single day. They will give one of their conference rooms. If you take 3 parts of the ballroom, one of the part of the ballroom they will give to a corporate meeting, and then they'll give the other two to us. And then we can't do any kind of work because it's sound. How can you toko a stage? How can you bang a stage, make noise and work a stage there when there's a conference going on in the other room? So now they look at their revenue per day. All right. Yes, a client has to book the venue 1 day in advance. Again, for that, if they can come with a proper, decent amount to pre-prep for the event. Yes, when it's elaborate, we tell the client straight away, you have to book the venue 1 day in advance, 2 days in advance, according to the scale of what you want.
Yeah,
But with hotels doing
yeah,
these
yeah.
things, it's
Emre,
difficult.
Emre, I'm going to come back to you on this. Tanas, thank you very much for that. I'm now energized to ask my last question, probably to Emre. So it's like
I
this. Come
think
on,
Tuan
we
is back.
understand. We understand Tuan saying, these days airlines are doing no frills flying and things like you don't get lunch, you don't get drinks, you don't get this, you don't get that, you don't get a blanket to cover yourself and all that. That we can understand the no frills airline. Come on, just imagine this happening in hotel. We don't get this. That's what Tanaz is saying. Why don't you guys start adding more value, the more value additions from the routine that what we have seen the last 50 years is what Tanaz is saying. Come on, it's the same thing that I 40, 50 years when I'm born, I have seen the star hotels providing the same thing. There's no creativity. There's nothing more value addition that has happened, particularly to an event like wedding events, destination wedding. People are coming for it completely different experience from what they get at back in India or back in another place. What is the new value additions what hotels like yours or a country like yours can offer these people experience? Would you be able to tell us, or would you think about it to provide it in going forward?
If I may, very straightforwardly respond to your very straightforward question, Krishna. Basically, first of all, I think an average family spends for a destination wedding between $400,000 to $1 million. So if I will be a father of a groom spending, let's say, I mean, in my own capacity, let's say, $400,000 for my beloved daughter, hypothetically, and if I will not get my luggage in time in my room, that will be a deal breaker, first of all. And we always say to the families who do their weddings at the property and who has other relatives who are keen to do their weddings in our property, they say, why shall I do a second wedding in your hotel? We always say the wedding is about a communication between a wedding planner, the hotel, and the family. First, three of us, we have to, communication and luxury. Luxury is all about communication. If you don't communicate, you can't put together luxury. On an average, every 1% of Indian population who are rich tend to go to Jaipur, to Fairmont Jaipur, to Lila Jaipur, to those iconic wedding properties, roughly 30 to 40 times in a lifetime, probably, to attend weddings. Every time they go to this property, it's the same chair, same venue, same location, same view. The whole experience is designed by the wedding planner. So as long as the wedding planner puts together a complete unique experience, it's a complete different experience perceived by the family. What I'm trying to say here, Krishna, we will not, when we work extensively and communicate with the planners and the families, we will not have those shortfalls in regards to bellman or key cards will be ready at the check-in, etc. Those are all added values that come along with the expertise that the hotel develops by executing weddings, by working with those planners. When it comes to the added values that us in Sofitel we offer to our guests, is basically we make sure a family does one wedding, a wedding planner does 10 weddings. For us, our key partners are planners. We make sure that we do not undercut or we do not forget recognizing our planners. We work hand to hand with planners. And then at the property, while we are executing the wedding, we design the experience all together with the family. We don't overpromise. We set expectations. Obviously, there might be some problems with the venues, etc. It's normal. What we do is we don't say no. We will give, if you want an island for your Farah with a sunset behind it, we will arrange it, but not maybe the first day, on the second day. So it is all about setting expectations. It's all about communicating with the families. Also, most of the families are also very understanding as long as you cater to their emotions. If we are difficult, if we keep saying no, if we don't provide alternative solution, we will not have the right chemistry. It's not a wedding; is between two couple. But while those two people are getting married, also all those vendors, the wedding planner, us, the family, we all become one family. We all become an extended family. We have to have the right chemistry in place. We have to like each other. If we play the difficult, if we say no to everything, if we try to bring charge on everything, if we don't give something, at least within our hands, to a family and the planner, we won't get anything. So those are the emotions that we're trying to bring on during a wedding, Krishna.
Emre, thank you. That was a very emotional answer. I think you came straight from your heart. I think we need to close. We are already short up by 5 minutes. Maybe I'll take the last couple of minutes and then we close this comfortably. Is there something that you wanted to say, Tanaz? There are audiences from different, there'll be vendors, the partners, the customers will be watching this particular program. I want to understand, Tanaz, you have something to say from manager, particularly people, weddings or in the post-pandemic times. Are there any last minute, you want to advocate or suggest?
Uh, a, a lot of, yes, we need to do a lot of research, recce's. Go and see the place for yourself first, understand what it has to offer, and then offer it to your client. Okay.
Okay,
Um,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Anything
And
else you want to add? Yeah.
uh, go by the checklist.
Do
Strictly go by
research.
your checklist,
Yeah,
because a
do
wedding is
research, do recce, build a good checklist,
checklist, and follow the checklist.
and follow the checklist, because no amount of planning is anything great unless you deliver the checklist, is
Unless you
what
tick
Tanaz
off the
Basrur
checklist.
says.
Yes.
Thank you very much for being on the program, which is Espousal International, managed by the property managed by Zero In, and supported by Vistales. I would like to thank you, Tanaz, for being there with us.
Pleasure.
Emre, you have some signing off comments about the event itself, or otherwise, just you want to say? Yeah.
I just want to thank everybody, Tuan, for his valuable feedback, Ms. Tanas for sharing her valuable expertise in regards to social events, and Krishna to you for moderating it. I want to recognize Mr. Arvind for putting together the whole platform, and obviously entire Espousal team. I look forward to, I already connected with all of you on LinkedIn. I will welcome anyone connecting with me through LinkedIn. And I look forward to welcoming all of you in Bahrain. Thank you.
Right, sure, we'll be there.
Our pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, Tuan. Bye, Emre.
Wow, that was a great session. Thank you to all the panelists and everybody who is present here today. Special thanks to Madam Tanaz, who came in spite of not keeping well. And our next session will start in a couple of minutes. So I'll see you then. Thank you.